I'll record as usual.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Alright.
Are we doing attackers or defense first?
Defense first, always, as always.
Okay.
So this is our third map. We're covering Hollywood. Alright. Wait till everyone's ready.
We're all soldiers now.
Alright, so obviously they have to capture the point first. I have no idea how Mountain died, but okay. So generally you'll want to hold the arc if you never want to come out here. Maybe like at the start of the match when it's counting down, you want to come out here, try to poke a few shots, land a fire strike. But for those of you that watch the Temple of Anubis, the same principle applies. That the moment you start taking heat, you have to fall back. So yeah, that's pretty much the arc. The arc, you can hold on the ground, but ideally you would want to hold up here. And the reason is that you can pretty much see everything. Because if you hold down there, you can get flanked by people in security room. So if you hold up here, you see everything, and same like always, you can drop down on them as I walk through. Maybe you can have like an Anna all the way over there. But that's pretty much it. If they go for security room, then it becomes pretty easy because you just spam there. If they go through this side again, that can be pretty easy because it's pretty narrow and you can drop on them through this narrow doorway. They come upstairs, again it's pretty easy because there's another narrow doorway. So what they probably do to get up here is they probably either get a Winston to jump up here, or like maybe a Genji. But other than that, this is a good ground to hold because the ways they can get to you are pretty in your favor. And also if the Reinhardt shield's down, you can have a few people use this as cover, which is also great. But at some point you're gonna have to fight and you're gonna fall down. So you're gonna fight, fall down, and then ideally, of course, you want to recover up there. But if you can't, just hold around this corner. You never want to go all the way up here because again, flanks in security room. So you'll want to go here, ideally, pretty much just on the edge of the point. Again, have snipers or long range people up there. Don't forget this platform up there, but that's pretty limited and doesn't really give you that much room to move. But the moment you're here, the one path they can take, or the two paths they can take, is to go straight behind. If they go straight behind, then you would just have to fight them here. Get ready, because you would, again, in terms of team call out, you'll need to call it out, and you will need to prepare when they go behind. If you have people up here again, that's why this cafe up here is a good spot because you can see pretty much everywhere where they're coming from. Another route they can take is, if you're down here, is upstairs. This can be a bit tricky if they do that. If you're downstairs and they speed boost all the way upstairs and they get up here, same principle as all the points. You would try to back up as much as possible. And if you have people here, put fire on them. If you don't, then you're gonna have to back up and force them to come down. You can always use this room as cover, as this one back here. You can have people coming up here to flank them, to deal with that as well. But generally you will want to, if they take high ground, you'll want to start backing up and create some distance. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So the main areas of the map are up here and up there. That's pretty much the map areas you need to worry about controlling. And that is pretty much the first point. Now let's say you got team wiped and they push the payload or they capture the point. Now this is where Reinhardt can be a bit of a bitch because this part of the map is all about verticality. So as always, you would always want to hold high ground.
Hey,
So pretty much have some people up here. That's a really good spot for Widow. It's just like massive line of sight. You have people up here. Maybe have some people. I just missed it, but go on this floor as well. But generally, you would have high ground, and then they would push the payload, and then you are going to drop on them as they come through. But of course, they don't just do that. Sometimes they come all the way around here. Again, they won't really go into this room because it's really spammy. So they would either take the elevator up there, or they would come around here. In which case, that's kind of fine, because if you're up there and they're down here, then you still have high ground advantage, and they're not pushing the payload.
everyone, heal up.
But what they can do is that they can send people here and have 1 or 2 people pushing the payload. In which case, you would drop on the people dropping on the payload straight away. You would fight the people on the payload straight away, and then deal with these guys over here later. So key areas, of course, all the way up here. You definitely want a Winston here to take high ground, and this is probably one of the best maps for Widow. So if Widow is picked somehow, this would be the map. But yes, if they do take this area, or they push it all the way through, you pretty much just have to hold here unless you have very strong control up there and put fire up there. So maybe if you have a really good Widow that can get up there and put a lot of pressure on them, that's also fine. But ideally, once they get to here, you would not hold this area very long, because even if you're up there, they have an advantage by going on top of the saloon. And you would probably just have to hold here. Of course, you will need to watch out for the flanks through the saloon, and the flank where Mountain is right now. And of course, they can also come up top and drop on you here. But if you get up to this spot, please prepare to back out, because chances are you're not going to hold this for very long. And this is why the high ground control is so important, and usually whoever controls the high ground, like up there and on top of the saloon, they control this area of the map. And that is pretty much this part of the map. On to the next part. You would dish this area completely, just completely leave it. Same thing, you can have a Widow up there or Pharah for a few seconds to spam shots, but the moment you take heat, you need to back out. And you would pretty much have to hold right outside the last part. The last point. The last checkpoint. So, when you're holding here, you would need to look out. Of course, you can see your 3 entrances. Again, great line of sight for Widow. You would have to look out for up there, especially up there. That is very dangerous. Anybody can go up there and throw down an ult. Of course, some people like Tracer that don't have that much verticality, they would like to flank around here. In which case you would see them because they would be walking over there, in which you will call out and send someone to deal with. But that is pretty much what you need to look out for. You need to look out for up there, and you need to look out for here, and the rest is pretty straightforward. Maybe you can position someone on your team there as well, but then again, it's kind of that whoever's up there will have to really be careful, because a lot of attackers, they have verticality, like Genjis like to go through there. Well, that pretty much covers the defense on this map, and we're gonna go all the way back and cover attack.
Well, I'm already at the spawn.
Alright, cool. So when you're attacking, you will generally have this area free. Come up and this is where you start taking fire. Try not to go through this room. The only exception is that if somehow you're here and then you go here, but by the time they're probably prepared anyway, then you just speed boost all the way through, but ideally you would not want to take this route. So instead, more popular way is to either A, go straight onto the point, speed boost,
Acknowledged.
and go straight onto the point through there.
I read you.
If you can't do that, you can go around here. Again, with a speed boost, just go around here. And also with another speed boost, you can go up the stairs. This can be a bit difficult, like we covered in the defense side, because this is very like a choky area. So if you want more advanced stuff, you can have people rush onto the point while having, like, let's say a Winston jumping on them there. So maybe if the team is if they have a sniper there, it can be a bit hard because the Reinhardt's gonna have to keep his shield up, which makes him move slower. Or you can just like make a beeline for it and try to dodge. But generally, they would probably either be on the floor here or up there. Now, if they are on the floor here, you have some options. You can send one person to go around security room really quickly to try to make picks. So maybe have like a roadhog and then hang around here, try to hook people, peeking, hook, and if you hook someone, then the whole team goes in. If he doesn't, then he backs off and spams their Reinhardt shield over here. But generally, that's it. And then if they have a Reinhardt, you would have to play mind games or take out their shield first, and of course you can always start it with a nerf shadow once they hit shields down to force it through. Probably Torbjorn's turrets on the platform. That's pretty much what you need to look out for. If you are here, you're gonna have to push the payload, so you will need to push, and the payload will end up here, and you'll pretty much just need to brute force it through. This is like a nature of payload maps. Since payloads only go one path, you will have to go. You have to stick to that path, otherwise you're not going to push the payload, obviously. So you need to kind of brute force it through. If they have a very strong lineup up on the top, then you will need to go back to spawn, switch out the Reinhardt for Winston, and then go take the high ground, abandon the payload, go take the high ground, and then go back to the payload. That's how you would play this around the map on attack. And same thing, if they're on defense and they're on the floor like this, which is actually kind of common, you can use the left side here. So if they don't see you and you want a really quick flank, you can go through that room. If they are holding them a bit more back, you can flank all the way left here. And of course, if they're all on the ground, you can take the high ground yourself. Get that advantage. But, other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Control the saloon if you have to. The saloon is extremely strong because the moment you get that high ground, you see pretty much the only 2 points of where they can come from this spawn. And of course, this is a nice little flank here, and if you need more health, there's large health back here. And that's pretty much how you attack this map. Also, I see sometimes game lost around here. In order to deal with that, you would have to just everyone go probably up there, and then have another person go through this room over here, and then probably just flank him around the jail. And if you need health, there's a small health pack in the jail. So there you go. That's pretty much the attack. So once you're here and you got the second checkpoint, you will need to look out for there. There'll probably be someone there, so take them out. Move through, just keep moving through. Large health back there if you're taking too much damage. And this is where it gets tricky, because you're gonna have to push the payload all the way through this massive line of sight. So in my opinion, a Reinhardt is like an absolute must for this point of the map because it's just so much line of sight that they have on you. Like stated before, you can have flankers going here, and then you can go through there to the spawn, or you can go all the way upstairs. And of course you can, if they are that far forward, you can ult them from here. If they're not, then you can go all the way around here and then try to catch people out here. But other than that, you're gonna have to use those flanks to make picks, engage fights off those picks, and push through. And that is pretty much, that's pretty much Hollywood. Any questions?
What happens when we hit this trick here?
When you're at this choke here,
Pushing here.
well, same thing. You go up. You have some people go up there. You have some people flank around here,
Right.
and then you rely on those to get picks.
Okay.
Okay, cool. No questions?
Um.
Are you good?
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good.
Alright, cool. So there you go. There's your map strat for this session.
For Hollywood. Alright, thanks, buddy. Going through that stuff.
No problem. This should be recorded, so should be able to access it whenever.
Sweet.
Other than that, there's not that much else. That's pretty much it for tonight. You guys can have free time.
Awesome.
Take a break, play quick play, whatever. But yeah.
I'm gonna try and get diamond.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go get some food, and I'll probably play it later. So,
Alright, thanks, man.
Okay.
No worries.
Thanks, buddy.
Be right back.
Alright, catch you guys later. I'm gonna head off.